Today we're exploring the mysterious and intriguing pineal gland. Let's dive right in. Oh, I've been so curious about this. So what exactly is the pineal gland? Well, it's a tiny gland in the center of our brain, about the size of a pea, but it plays a huge role in our bodies. Really? What does it do?
Yeah.
It produces hormones like serotonin, which is often called the happiness hormone, and melatonin, which regulates our sleep cycles. Oh, so it's crucial for our mood and sleep? Exactly. And there's also some fascinating discussions about it producing dimethyltryptamine, or DMT, sometimes referred to as the spirit molecule. Wait, DMT? Isn't that the compound that's associated with dreaming? Yes, it's been linked to vivid dreaming and other altered states of consciousness. That's wild. So why is it sometimes called the third eye? Well, in many spiritual traditions, the pineal gland is believed to be the gateway to higher consciousness. Like a bridge between the physical and the spiritual? Exactly. It's associated with intuition and inner vision. Some even say it's the seat of the soul. That's fascinating. So how does it relate to our daily lives? So, besides regulating sleep and mood, a healthy pineal gland is thought to contribute to overall well-being and mental clarity. Interesting. But is there any truth to the idea that it can help prevent diseases? Well, there are studies that suggest melatonin has antioxidant properties, which can support the immune system. So it might help us stay healthier? Potentially, yes. But it's important to note that more research is needed to fully understand these effects. Absolutely. So, I've heard that our modern lifestyle can affect the pineal gland negatively. Is that true? Yes, unfortunately. Factors like excessive exposure to artificial light, stress, and certain chemicals can impact its function. Like fluoride, right? I've read that it can calcify the gland. Exactly. There's concern that fluoride accumulation can lead to calcification, reducing its effectiveness. That's a bit unsettling. So,
It is.
What can we do to keep it healthy? Well, practices like meditation, spending time in natural sunlight, and maintaining a regular sleep schedule can help. Oh, so mindful living supports the pineal gland? Absolutely. Also,
Great.
some people explore techniques like the Cueva de la Luz method. What's that about? It's a holistic approach that combines light therapy, music, massage, and deep meditation to stimulate the pineal gland. That sounds relaxing. Have you tried it?
It does.
Not personally, but I've heard positive things about it helping people achieve a sense of inner balance. That's amazing. So it's about reconnecting with ourselves? Exactly. Activating the pineal gland can enhance our intuition and awareness. But is there scientific evidence to back this up? There are studies on meditation improving brain function, but when it comes to the pineal gland specifically, more research is needed. Makes sense. It's important to stay grounded in facts. Absolutely. While the mystical aspects are intriguing, we should balance them with scientific understanding. Agreed. So, maintaining a healthy lifestyle supports the pineal gland, which in turn supports us? Exactly. It's a symbiotic relationship. Taking care of it helps us thrive. That's a great takeaway. I'm feeling inspired to adjust my habits. Me too.
Awesome.
Even simple changes like reducing screen time before bed can make a difference. Definitely. Today, we're diving into Descartes' fascinating theory about the pineal gland and its role in the mind-body connection. That sounds intriguing. So what's the gist of Descartes' idea on this topic? Well, according to Descartes, there's this tiny gland in the brain called the pineal gland, and he believed it's the principal seat of the soul. The seat of the soul? That's quite a claim. Yeah, it's interesting because he thought that this gland is where all our thoughts are formed, and it's the point of interaction between the mind and the body. So how does that interaction happen exactly? Okay, so Descartes proposed that the pineal gland is affected by the spirits, what he called the animal spirits, which are like tiny particles moving through the nervous system.
I see.
And these movements influence the gland and thereby the soul. Wait, so these animal spirits move the pineal gland and that affects our soul? Exactly. And vice versa. The soul can influence the pineal gland, causing movements that direct these spirits to different parts of the body, resulting in physical actions. That's a really intricate system he's describing. It is. And what's more, he used this to explain our passions, our emotions and feelings. He defined passions as perceptions or emotions of the soul caused by these movements of the spirits, which are initiated by bodily experiences. So, our emotions are triggered by physical movements in the body affecting the pineal gland? Precisely. For example, if we see something frightening, The image affects our senses. The spirits move in a certain way. The pineal gland transmits this to the soul, and we experience the passion of fear. That's a fascinating way to link the physical and the mental. But why did he choose the pineal gland specifically? Great question. Descartes noted that most parts of the brain are duplicated, like we have two hemispheres, but the pineal gland is singular. So he believed it could be the unifying point where our dual sensory inputs combine into a single experience. That makes sense in his framework. But don't we know now that the pineal gland isn't actually responsible for that? Yes, modern neuroscience has different views. We know the pineal gland primarily regulates melatonin and sleep cycles, but in Descartes' time, it was a plausible hypothesis. I guess he was trying to find a physical location for the soul's interaction with the body. Exactly. And he was pioneering in attempting to explain mental phenomena through physical processes, bridging the gap between philosophy and early science. So, how did he differentiate between passions and volitions? Well, for Descartes, passions are passive. They're experiences that happen to the soul due to bodily movements, while volitions are active. They're the soul's own actions, like decisions or willful thoughts. So the soul can initiate actions, but it also receives experiences from the body. Exactly. It's a two-way interaction. The soul can influence the body through the pineal gland to move muscles and so on. I see. And the body can influence the soul by affecting the pineal gland with sensory inputs. That's a really holistic view for his time. It really is. He was trying to solve the mind-body problem by proposing this interactive substance dualism, where the non-material mind and the physical body interact at a specific point. But doesn't this raise more questions than answers? Like, how does a non-material soul interact with a physical gland? You're absolutely right, and that's been a point of contention among philosophers. It's one of the criticisms of Descartes' theory that he doesn't fully explain how the interaction actually occurs. It's like he's pinpointed where it happens, but not how it happens. Exactly. He identified the where, but the how remained a mystery. Some argue that invoking the pineal gland doesn't really solve the problem, it just shifts it slightly. Yeah. And yet, his work laid the groundwork for future discussions on consciousness and the brain. Definitely. His emphasis on the importance of the brain in mental processes was groundbreaking, and it encouraged others to explore neuroscience more deeply. Despite the inaccuracies, his approach was innovative. It was. And let's not forget, he also discussed how the will can influence our passions. Even though passions can be strong, the will has the power to regulate our responses, which is an early form of cognitive control. So the soul isn't just a passive recipient, but can actively shape its experience? Exactly. Descartes believed that while passions can affect the soul, the will can't be forced. It remains free, and we can choose how to respond to our passions. That's empowering in a way. It is. It suggests personal responsibility and the capacity for self-control, which are concepts still relevant today. Absolutely. So, in summary, Descartes' theory places the pineal gland at the center of mind-body interaction, with the animal spirits mediating between the two. You've got it. The pineal gland is the meeting point where the immaterial soul and the physical body communicate through the movements of these spirits. Even if the specifics aren't accurate, his attempt to bridge the gap was significant. Definitely. He opened up new ways of thinking about psychology, physiology, and their interrelation, which influenced countless thinkers after him. It's amazing how these early ideas paved the way for modern science. It really is. And discussing them helps us appreciate the evolution of thought over time and the ongoing quest to understand consciousness. Well, this has been a truly enlightening discussion. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Exploring Descartes' theories always gives us so much to think about and reflects the complexity of the human mind. Thanks for breaking it down so clearly. My pleasure. And thank you for the great questions. They really help deepen the conversation. Looking forward to our next deep dive into philosophy. Me too. Until then, keep pondering these big ideas and stay curious. Will do.